Byte of Truth. The AI talent heist and other headaches, from Bitcoin mines to brain chips.
Hello and welcome to Byte of Truth. I'm your host, Sebastien, and this week the world of AI is looking less like a well-oiled machine and more like a high-stakes poker game. Let's start with a provocative question. Are the biggest AI companies hiring top executives to drive innovation or to buy their silence? It's a question that hangs over the news that OpenAI just poached the CEO of Slack, while at the same time one of its own researchers quit, calling the company's economic research biased in favor of AI hype. It's a perfect snapshot of this week's contradictions. We've got Bitcoin miners, the energy-guzzling villains of the web, suddenly rebranding as green AI pioneers. We've got AI that can learn physics just by watching videos. And we've got chatbots that will yell at you, but in a helpful way, to help you fix your toaster. So, buckle up. Today, we're diving into the talent heist fueling the AI boom. The infrastructure shockwave hitting everything from energy to our own brains, and the ethical headaches that are piling up faster than bug reports in a beta test. This is Byte of Truth.
Research breakthroughs.
Let's start with the deep end of the pool, where the really mind-bending stuff happens. First up, an AI model that, and I'm not kidding here, has an intuition for physics. It's a system called VGEPA. That's VGEPA, from a team of researchers. Imagine showing an AI a video of a ball bouncing. It doesn't just see pixels changing color. It seems to actually understand concepts like gravity, velocity, and collision. It learns these rules of the world just by watching, without ever being told the formulas. This is a massive leap forward for machine perception. It means we're getting closer to AI that can navigate the real world, not just the data world. Think self-driving cars that truly understand why a pothole is bad, not just that it's a thing to avoid. And speaking of understanding, there's a fascinating new technique for making large language models think harder. Right now, an LLM kind of blurts out an answer based on patterns. But this new method from a group at Google scales the computer power it dedicates based on how hard the problem is. Think of it like this. If I ask you, what's 2 plus 2? You answer instantly. But if I ask you to design a sustainable city, you need time. You need to pause, gather your thoughts, maybe make some notes. This new technique allows the AI to do the same. It spends more compute, more thinking time on the complex questions. The result? More reasoned, more logical, and often more accurate answers for the tough stuff. It's a small but crucial step in moving from pattern matching to genuine problem solving.
Corporate moves and industry shifts.
All this brilliant research needs fuel, and that fuel is money and talent. And right now, the AI talent wars are absolutely vicious. Let's call it the AI talent heist. The headline grabber is OpenAI hiring Denise Dresser, the CEO of Slack, as its new chief revenue officer. Why is this a big deal? Because it's not a tech hire. It's an enterprise software sales hire. OpenAI is signaling it's done just being a research lab. It's now a sales and marketing machine, looking to lock in huge corporate contracts. They're not just building a better mousetrap. They're hiring the best people in the world to sell it to every Fortune 500 company. But while OpenAI is hoarding talent, the giants of the old guard are making their own moves. Intel. Yes, that Intel announced it's acquiring a startup called SambaNova. SambaNova builds specialized hardware for AI. This is a clear sign that the chip wars are now officially the AI chip wars. Everyone wants to control the physical layer, the silicon that all this AI runs on. But here's the twist. While the giants are consolidating, a new player just raised a staggering $475 million. It's a hardware startup called Unconventional AI, founded by Naveen Rao, the guy who sold his last AI chip company to Intel. Its valuation? A cool $4.5 billion. So on one hand, you have consolidation. On the other, you have a massive vote of confidence that there's still room for new, nimble, and, well, unconventional players. It's a shadow war for the future of AI infrastructure, and it's being fought with billion-dollar bills.
Ethical debates and policy news.
With all this money and power swirling around, it's no surprise the ethics are getting messy. We have to talk about that OpenAI researcher who quit. This person alleged that the company's research on the economic impact of AI was intentionally biased. Not biased in an accidental, whoopsie-daisy kind of way, but allegedly steered to produce conclusions that favor rapid AI adoption and downplay the risks. Think about that. One of the most powerful AI companies in the world is being accused of shaping the narrative to benefit its own business interests. This isn't just an internal problem. It strikes at the heart of the trust we place in these organizations to tell us the truth about the technology they're building. It's a transparency crisis. And yet, in the face of this, some are trying to build a better path forward. OpenAI, along with rivals Anthropic and others, just teamed up to form the AI Agent Standards Alliance. The goal? To create open standards so that AI agents from different companies can actually talk to each other and work together. Right now, we're heading towards a world of walled gardens, where you can only use a Google agent with Google tools and an OpenAI agent with OpenAI tools. This alliance is a rare hopeful sign of a push for interoperability, for a more open and less monopolistic future. It's a small group for now, but the intention is powerful. Let's agree on the rules of the road before we all get into our own separate, incompatible self-driving cars.
Tools and practical updates.
All right, let's bring this down from the clouds of policy and into the real, tangible world. What are the tools and trends you can actually see and feel? First, my favorite story of the week. The folks at iFixit, the champions of the right to repair, launched an AI repair bot. You point your phone's camera at your broken gadget, and this AI guides you step by step to fix it. It's like having a master mechanic living in your phone who can see exactly what you see. This is AI as a genuine democratizer of knowledge. It's practical, it's helpful, and it could save countless devices from ending up in a landfill. And yes, it might yell at you for stripping a screw, but it'll do it helpfully. Now, for the infrastructure shockwave. You know all those massive warehouses full of computers mining Bitcoin? The ones that use enough electricity to power a small country? Well, Bitcoin profits are down. So what are they doing? They're pivoting. They are repurposing their entire data center infrastructure to run AI workloads. Your past meme coin obsession is now, indirectly, fueling the next generation of ChatGPT. It raises huge questions about energy and the environmental cost of AI. But it also shows the sheer scale of this shift. The physical backbone of the internet is being rewired for AI in real time. And if that's not wild enough for you, let's go one step further. Scientists have successfully used a brain chip implant called a BISC to wirelessly stream a person's brain data in real time. This isn't sci-fi. This is a real, working piece of neurotechnology that could help people with paralysis. But it also moves us a step closer to a future where our brains and our machines are literally, physically connected. So, what's the thread that ties all of this together? The talent heist, the brain chips, the repair bots, and the ethical messes. It's the paradox of the AI boom. We are witnessing a flood of investment and innovation on a scale we've rarely seen, creating tools that can fix our toasters and chips that can read our thoughts. We are also witnessing a frantic, messy gold rush, where ethics are an afterthought, where research might be for sale, and where the physical foundation is being built on the repurposed ruins of a speculative bubble. And just to add one more layer of contradiction to the whole thing, a new study came out this week suggesting that at a macro level, AI's energy use is actually pretty small. It claims AI is a drop in the bucket compared to, say, global manufacturing. It even suggests AI could help green tech. Is this true? Is AI an environmental hero in disguise? Or is it a conveniently timed narrative pushed by a study that has ties to big tech? The answer is probably somewhere in the messy middle. The truth is, there is no simple story here. In the end, the truth about AI isn't just in the code, but in the chaotic, contradictory world of the humans building it. Thanks for listening. I'm Sebastian, and this is Byte of Truth.